prepared, our data model is prepared. Now our next activity is to create certain additional columns which we want to derive basis the data which we have imported. So for example, I'll start with my product data set. Now in my product data set, I want to introduce a column which basically categorizes that if any product which has a color red, black or gray, I am going to tag it as a colored product. Rest I'm going to say not a colored product, right? So all these are like example of byte type product SKUs. So for that, now in order to introduce a new column, you just need to do what? You need to select the table in the data grid, go to the table tools and say new column. Okay, so column will get appended to the rightmost part and you will start seeing a formula section typical to like you get in your Excel. Now I'm going to say that the name of my column is going to be byte type color. Okay, and I'm just creating a if condition. If product color is equal to black, okay, or if it is equal to red, or if it is equal to gray, then say yes, it's a colored product, else say no. Okay, so now you can see basis the product color red and black, they are saying byte type color yes, blue is no, multi is no, etc, etc. So this is a classic example of an if and else condition based conditional column. Okay, so you can create such columns. Now second column, custom column which I want to create is I'm going to call as discount. Now basis the pricing of my products, I want to associate certain discounts which I am ready to give to my customers basis the product category, like what is the pricing of the category. Again I'm going to make use of if else, but in a nested way. So if I am saying if my product price is less than 100, then I will give 0% of 0% of discount. So 0 into product price, just to keep it consistent. Now I'm saying else, if less than 100 then 0, else I'll check again that if the price is less than 500, then I'm ready to give 1% discount on the product price, else I'll move further. So like this, I have created a formula. So what I'm saying is if product price is less than 100, give 0%. If it is less than 500, then give 1%. Less than 2000, then 1.5%. Less than 3000, then 2%. And otherwise, else less than 3000, if it 2%, else 3%, right? Now, after this column is created, now you can check, right? So this, see the product price for this particular product, it is less than 100, so that's why there is no discount. It is between 100 to 200, then this has been given a 1% discount. So like this, all the discount column is now calculated. Now this column is available just like a regular column in my product table. Now after this, I'll go to my sales table. Now in sales table, I want to identify and create a column called as cost. There is no product cost column over here, so that will be derived. So let's create a column called as cost, and it is derived by order quantity into, now the cost of the product is in the product table, and I know I've already created a relationship between product and sales table. So I just need to select the product cost column. Now only keyword which I have to use in Power BI is the related keyword. So this will pick up the relation, and now for this particular sale order, the cost has already been derived. So this order number, this is the cost for which the product is the costing of the product for this particular order. Okay. Now I'm going to create another conditional column over here called as order status. I'm saying if any order whose order quantity is greater than 2, then for my organization it's an urgent order, else it is a normal order. Oh, sorry, I lost it. So this is my order status column, and I have my order quantity, urgent or normal. So any order which has order quantity 1 is normal. Any order which is having order quantity as greater than 2 is urgent. You can see this. So there's this whole Power BI tabs and sheets allow you to also review the data, what you're doing. So it's very convenient. Now I have my sales data. Now what I want to bring within the sales is my discount column. So here also I want to bring the discount which I have created. So I'll say discount. Discount will be order quantity into related product discount, right? So the discount calculated column which I had created under products, I'll bring over here. Now I am creating the order level discount. So if you see, for this particular order, there's a 25 for 25 rupee discount at the cost is 100,000 rupees. Okay. And what is the order price now? So I have taken the order cost, the discount. Now I have to create a column called as price, order price. So that will be again order quantity into related price, which is per product price, enter. Okay, so now I have the cost, the discount and the price, right, available with me. Now I want to calculate the total revenue, total profit and loss, right? Per order, how much so first I'll calculate per order how much revenue I'm generating. So now I have to generate a column called as revenue. Revenue is price minus discount so 1700 minus 25, 1700 minus 25, 2071 minus 42. And if I want to calculate the profit per order, then it is revenue minus cost. Okay, so now you can see, typical custom columns, calculated columns which we have created are all playing around with the numeric values, numeric data primarily, and trying to give inferences into per order cost, discount, per order price, revenue, and profit. So typical calculation columns which I have prepared in front of you. Now let's take a look at other different variations of custom columns. I'll create certain columns for text-based custom columns, calculated columns, using text-based data. So I'm now moving towards my customer table, in which I have customer key, prefix, first name, last name, birth date, marital status, and gender. Now I want to create a new column in which I want to derive the age of each customer as of today, right? So I'll use another function, a date function called as date diff. Now date diff, so I want the difference between the birth date of the customer and as of today in years. Okay, so this customer as of today is 68-year-old, one is 74, 68, 57, etc. So this is one derivation of a calculated column of age. Let's take another example. Now this is a text-based column where I want to derive the full name of the customer. Now here I'll say first lowercase, in lowercase I'll concatenate the prefix, then ampersand, space, ampersand, first name, ampersand, space, ampersand, last name, and closing brackets, etc. Full name. Okay, so this is an example of full name in lower cases. Now another calculated column, conditional column at the customer level. I want to identify a flag which says who is my target customer. basis the demographics shared over here. Target customer. So I'll say if the marital status is equal to M and total children, and total children annual income. So okay, so let me change the logic a bit. So marital status is M and age is less than 50. These customers are my target customers. Okay, so I would say yes, else no. Say this. His marital status is married, Logan Diaz, and age is less than 50, else everyone. So if I try to filter, so these are my target customers. 69 out of 1178. So this is just a conditional column, but a logical condition, an example which I'm trying to highlight over here. Okay, now let's look at certain calendar date oriented columns, calculated columns. Very typical, like now I have a simple date column. Now I'll keep adding certain columns which which will help you understand how we can do some calculations on the dates. So like for example, I want a date which is 12 days after the current date, the date in the column. So just simple 12 days after, select the date and add 12. Now if you see the date format, you can go and change the format at the top, and if whatever you feel like this. Now see, 12 days after 1st Jan 2015 is 13 Jan 2005. You can go and change the format and other details. Let me also show you, if I go to my cost and other columns, I can go and change the format. This is like a currency, cost is currency. So I can go and change the currency type, and you can even show the dollar value or whatever currency type it is. So for numbers, you can do currency, or text or dates, you can select the format. So this is available at the column tools level. Now in customers, like we had our column of full name. So now what all things are available? Format as text, okay, data type text. So very minimal options are there. With date, you have options of the date format. Now next, I want a column which defines the expiry date. Okay, so 8 months prior to the expiry date which is coming up in 8 months. So I'll create a column called as 8 months expiry, and then there is a eDate function. I'll use that. I'll use my date in the data set, comma, I'll say 8. So now this date column will append 8 months to my actual date, and again I can go and change the format. correct? Now another important column, like I want to know the date name. So I'll use a function called as format, and I'll select my calendar date column, and I'll say give me the DDDD format of it. So it will give me the day name, the day name of on that particular date. Next, years in between. So I want the years in between the today's date and the date of my calendar. So equal to date diff, the calendar date, comma today, comma year, end. 7 years, 2015 to 2022. Then last date of the month. So if I want what is the last date of this particular calendar month, I will use a function EO month, which is there available in the Power BI. So I'll say last date of the month equal to EO month. Then just select the calendar CSV date, comma 0 in months, and enter. Change the format. Then similarly, start of the month. So I'll use a function called start of month. So for all January dates, end of the month is 31st Jan and start of the month will remain 1st of Jan. Change the format. Next, I want to know what is the week number of that particular date. So now there is an inbuilt function called week number, week num, and just pass the date and you will get the week number. First week of the year, second week of the year, etc. Now another very good example is whether the week day is a weekday or a weekend, right? So what is it? It's a week type. Okay. So I'll put a if condition and there is a function called weekday and I'll pass the calendar. If it is less than 6, it means it's a weekday, else it's a weekend. So all Saturday and Sunday day names will come as weekends, or else everything else will come as weekday. So these are very different variations of different column types, calculated columns, which is a very important utility, and any Power BI project you will definitely be ending up creating n number of calculated columns to derive your numbers, to prepare your reports. But it's important to understand what all things we can do. Yes, there are n number of functions available in Power BI. But what I have tried to showcase over here is some important functions but basis your utility, basis your problem statement, you can look up for a relevant function in the Power BI dictionary. Now with this introduction to calculated column, this is the base for us to now get into our next session where we will be talking about creating DAX measures and DAX functions. We will be using Power BI DAX functions, which is much more powerful